Welcome back, I'm Jasmine. If you're new here, today we're doing a makeup look using only celebrity makeup lines. I use my favorite products from my favorite celebrity makeup lines. So without further talking, let's get into the video. Starting with Miss Fenty herself. I feel like Rihanna really set the tone for celebrity makeup as well as makeup brands in general. This is the Fenty Beauty Mattifying Primer. If you have oily combo skin, this is the one for you. This is one of my favorite primers for oily combo skin. I'm gonna start my brows by combing the hair upward. While I was picking out products for this video, I was kind of thinking about celebrity makeup brands in general and like kind of the stigma that they have, some of them. There's definitely a certain stigma behind some celebrity brands because sometimes it just kind of seems like a cash grab. And I'm not gonna lie, there are brands that, you know, I see and I'm like, you know, it seems like you just did this to make a quick buck. And then others, you feel like they genuinely like have a mission or like a purpose, or, you know, it seems like they have a true passion. Also, I tried to pick out my favorites from different categories. So for primer, I had to use the Fenty. I felt like that was my favorite primer out of these celebrity makeup lines that I have tried. I am going to come back to my brows, but for now we're going to move into foundation, and I had to use the Haus foundation. This foundation is amazing, like definitely hands down my favorite between Fenty and Rare Beauty. And I also have something from Give, which is Gwen Stefani's makeup line. This foundation is the truth. Okay, so I'm gonna shake it because I haven't used it in a couple weeks. I've been using my Makeup by Mario and KVD, but this girl is amazing, and I use the shade 460 in this foundation. I'm gonna start applying it to my face. The coverage, the finish, like everything about this is amazing. Ooh, I forgot to color correct. It's okay. I did bring out the Fenty color corrector, but clearly I forgot to use it. I'm not going to add any to the center of my face since I am going to be using concealer, so I don't want to put too much product. For concealer, I'm first going to use the Rare Beauty Under Eye Brightener, and this one is medium deep. This has like a cooling side, so it's very like refreshing, and it's supposed to be depuffing and also like very relaxing and cooling under the eye, which it definitely is. And I'm gonna use my beauty blender to blend it out. This is a product you can wear on its own. You really don't even have to wear makeup with it, and it looks natural. It looks like you're not wearing any makeup, which I actually really enjoy, especially like days where you feel really tired and you just want to throw something under your eyes. But if you put on a regular concealer, it's gonna look like you have on concealer, and then you're gonna have to put on a whole face, you know. So this type of product is really nice for days where you really just want to cover your dark circles or just like a tired under eye. I'm also going to use the Rare Beauty concealer. I honestly have not tried the concealer from Haus. I don't know if they even have a concealer, but if they do, I have not tried it. This is in 440C. So this one I'm going to apply, and I'm going to let this sit because it does not dry down very quickly. So that way I can get more coverage. That's a little trick that you can do. I do like to clean up my brows, so I'm going to use this as well under my brow. I'm taking this small brush from a Wet n Wild, and I'm just going to carve my brow out. I'm going to take this brush and start blending. It's from Japanese and it has a really nice shape. I like these types of brushes to blend out my under eye concealer. You can see it's been sitting on my face for a minute and it's still not dry. Like, it's still easily blendable. It's crazy. Like, you definitely want to let your concealer sit so you can get more coverage. But it does depend on which concealer you're using. Some concealers do dry quicker than others, So once you know kind of like how long your concealer takes to dry, then you can experiment with leaving it a little bit longer. For cream contour, I am going to use Fenty. I personally love the Fenty matchsticks. I think the shades definitely work better for me than the Rare Beauty contour sticks. This is Espresso in Fenty. It really just depends on the day, to be honest, because sometimes I do prefer a more like red tone contour if I'm looking for a very like sun-kissed look, and then other days I want something more neutral, which is when I use something like this one, which is not red or orange. It's more just like a neutral deep tone. It really just depends on your preference. I would say if you're starting out, definitely get a neutral first, and if you want to add to your collection, then you get something, you know, different. Today I decided to put my bronzer a little higher. I'm blending my forehead, and I'm using a big brush from Morphe. It's the Morphe M439 brush. You can use any brush. Typically I use something a little smaller to have more control, but this is what I reached for today. And I'm gonna blend out my concealer. I'm adding a little bit more concealer before setting my under eye because I want to just make sure I blend out any creasing that already happened. For powder, Fenty hands down. I love Fenty. I do like the Haus powder as well, so I will use it on the rest of my face, but for under my eye I prefer the shade Cashew out of the powders that I do own. Definitely gonna add some to my eyelid because my eyelid is always really shiny. When it comes to highlighter, Rare Beauty has it down, hands down. Like, they really do. I'm gonna add a little bit up here. This one is in the shade Reflect. Yeah, Reflect. Rare Beauty has it with highlighter. They also have it with liquid blush, but I'm not gonna use liquid blush today. I'm just gonna use powder blush. We're gonna blend this in. I feel like that's an area that Fenty Beauty really is not. Fenty just does not give me what I need, you know. Like, Rare Beauty got the highlight down. Okay, I am gonna use the Haus for the rest of my face. I did cut a hole in mine because I felt like the net was restricting me, so I'm gonna add this to the rest of my face. Originally bought this powder for under my eye, but once I tried it I realized that I prefer it on the rest of my face, not under my eye. One thing I really like about this powder is how fine it is. It's really fine, and I'm all about a fine powder in terms of like consistency. For powder bronzer, I am going to use Fenty once again. I'm really not sure if this palette still exists, but basically I'm going to use shades Thick Mint and also Cocoa Naughty. I like to use Cocoa Naughty for my nose because it's not as dark. I also bring it all the way up into my crease. I'm going to use this Fenty palette to do a little bit of eye makeup, but honestly I feel like eyes is where the makeup brands, these celebrity makeup brands, I just don't know about the eyes. I feel like I haven't come across a really good eyeshadow palette from these celebrity makeup lines. So let me know if you have one that's really good so I can try it. I have seen some pigments from Give and also Haus Labs. I've seen some pigments, but I want like an actual eyeshadow that's really nice, like something that's given, you know, Huda Beauty or like Anastasia, like that type of vibe. All right, we're just gonna blend this into my crease. I'm just making circular motions. I am pretty much a 2 eyeshadow type of girl. I like using one color in my crease and one on my lid. Now that I'm older, I just feel like it's quick, it's easy, and it looks good. So for my lid, I'm gonna use, I feel like matte will look really nice. I don't know, but also shimmer looks pretty. So I'm gonna do this shade right here. Just place it on my eyelid. I'm going back into the dark brown and I'm gonna just blend the two together. For mascara, I have two that I really love. Rare Beauty mascara is definitely one of my favorites ever. It's so good. It's thick, it's black, it's just everything that I love in a mascara. Hopefully you can see the wand here. Recently I got the new Fenty mascara and it's also really nice. It's a very similar wand, as you can probably tell, but it's a little more tapered, which I like a lot. I'm gonna add some to my lashes. I'm gonna add a little bit more powder under my eye to just help brighten, because I want like that nice bright under eye look. I'm using the Fenty powder in the same shade, Cashew. I personally love adding color to my lower lash line, so I'm taking the same dark brown color and I'm gonna add that right under my lash line and just smoke it out. Alright, we're gonna add mascara, and I like to kind of hit the lower lash line, like to create a fake eyeliner effect. I feel like the lower lash line is where you really see the effects of this mascara. It's just like, woo. For blush, I'm gonna use the Haus blush in the shade Watermelon Bliss. This is such a beautiful color. Haus powder blushes, ooh, they're amazing. They're definitely the best. Like, they're so good. Hands down the best celebrity makeup powder blushes I've come across. The pigment, the shades, everything is just like, wow. I love. We're looking a little crazy, but trust the process. We're gonna take Fenty powder in 410. This is the Pro Filter. This powder is amazing. It's definitely a really beautiful powder. I'm gonna take this and go over my face and just kind of dust it all over. I'm going over the blush a bit because obviously I added a ton of blush and I want to just tone it down a little bit. Okay, and then we're going to take the same powder and just dust off the excess powder. Whatever's left under my eye, I'm going to push it in with the little triangle thing as much as I can. I'm going to push it in so I don't have to be dusting around my under eye area and move product around so much. Moving on to lips, I'm going to use the Rare Beauty pencil, and I love their lip pencils because they're twistable. I accidentally sharpened this pencil the other day and I didn't realize it was twistable. Honestly, I think I forgot it was twistable because I feel like I have twisted it, but I completely forgot, and I went ahead and used the sharpener and immediately after turning the pencil in the sharpener, I realized like this was not a regular pencil. This is in the shade Strong, and I'm going to just line my lips with it. I love the formula of this. Oop. Honestly, twistable lip pencils need to be the standard because who has time to look for a sharpener? Like, who really has time? I can never find a sharpener when I need one. Like, I always find them when I'm not looking for them, and then whenever I do need them, MIA, non-existent. It never fails. For lipstick, I'm using the Give lipstick and the color is Lovable Me. This is one of my favorite nude colors in life. It's so pretty and it's the perfect shade for me. I guess it's more of a mauve, but it's one of my favorite mauve colors. I really love this lipstick. It's pretty. I love the formula, I love the color. I'm gonna add a little bit of Fussy from Fenty. You know, I had to use a Fenty gloss bomb because when it comes to lip gloss, Fenty has the Krabby Patty. They have the recipe down. They got it, okay? Like, they really do. I'm also gonna take the Red Beauty highlighter in Flaunt. This is their powder highlighter. I do wish they had a couple deeper shades in this highlighter because the formula is so pretty. I'm gonna go over my cheeks to just blend it in. I'm gonna go over my cheeks as well. I'm gonna throw on my lashes. I'm wearing the Kiss Noblesse lashes and I'll be right back. So this is the entire look. Comment below your favorite celebrity makeup line. Mine is definitely Fenty. I mean, I don't know. Like, I really love Rare Beauty and I really love Haus so far, but Fenty just, it does something for me, okay? So comment below your favorite celebrity makeup line down below. Fenty is definitely my favorite, but I do prefer certain products from Rare Beauty, and I also prefer certain things from Haus, even though it is a newer line. I definitely love their blushes a ton and their foundations way more. I hope you enjoyed this video. Share with a friend and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.